The return of 650B, an old French wheel standard, is being driven by both increasingly poor state of our roads and also a growing desire to get off those roads completely and head into the countryside on off-road tracks. The smaller wheels allow a bigger tyre to be used, which provides a lot more cushioning, meaning a smoother ride on rough roads and lower pressures for off-road grip. Cyclists and bike builders are really starting to embrace the benefits of 650B. We're now seeing lots of options, from road-focused bikes with fat, slick tyres to fully fledged gravel bikes with mountain bike tyres aimed at getting deep into the wilderness on epic bike packing adventures. There's something really for everyone. And as there's a growing number of 650B bikes, we wanted to share with you some of the options. And it's a list that's growing all the time, so no doubt we'll update this video somewhere in the future. So let's crack on with this list. The 3T EXPLORO is one of the most advanced gravel and adventure bikes to date, as it features an aerodynamic frame designed entirely around wide 650B tyres. Without getting too bogged down into the details, to ride the EXPLORO is an absolute blast on gravel. If you have fairly well-surfaced drain tracks around your way, you're in for a treat. This is a bike that allows you to get your head down and crank up the speed high, and that's when the EXPLORO is at its best. When you're pinning it across rough but firm roads, it really flies in this territory. The EXPLORO has plenty of clearance, in fact masses of it, for up to 54mm wide tyres, meaning the popular WTB Horizon 47mm tyres fit with ease. You could easily even swap in a mountain bike tyre for more off-road grip if your riding and terrain demands it. Fitted with these Horizon tyres, the EXPLORO is fast on the road. Maybe not as fast as a pure road bike, but it's certainly no slouch. And provided it's dry, the tyres will cope with an impressive amount of off-road riding, so bridleways, farm tracks and fire roads are all fair game on this bike. When things do get technical, the steering is lively enough for loads of manoeuvrability. The EXPLORO is quick to respond when you need to change your line to avoid dips and bumps, and tight corners really aren't a problem. The chainstays on this bike keep the wheelbase short for a bike of this kind, so the handling is similar to that of a road bike. The only bad thing to say about the EXPLORO is the mighty price tag, which does put it out of reach for many people, which is a bit of a shame. Although if you have deep pockets, you won't be disappointed if you invest in this bike. It might not be the quickest or the lightest, but the VITUS substance is a solid bike for far-flung adventures or even just riding to work. And it's reasonably priced for a steel bike with a good level of equipment, including hydraulic disc brakes. Steel has long been the preserve of the adventure and touring rider, so it's no surprise to see VITUS embrace the material for its substance. The tubes are double butted to save weight, and they're slim apart from the oversized head tube. As well as a couple of water bottle mounting points, you get bolts for mudguards and a rack. On top of all this, cable routing has been kept external, even on the fork, but VITUS has designed it to be tidy and it's barely noticeable. The frame will take 650B and 700C wheels. It comes with a 47mm wide WTB byway tyres, which provide a bit more cornering grip than the familiar WTB Horizon tyres that I've mentioned previously. Their sure-footedness on various terrain is a highlight. The handling is pretty neutral. There's nothing quick or twitchy about it, which makes it perfect for a new rider or when riding in tricky conditions like poor weather. Even when that bike does slide out on wet mud, it's easy to control and keep upright, which is a real confidence booster, especially if the bike is loaded up for an adventure. It's not just off the beaten track though that the VITUS works either. It makes her a great commuter, especially if you hop between Canal Pass and the roads for instance, which is what happens here in Bath. Though it may not be the lightest for its money, it's a solid bike for adventures and riding to work. So if you're new, then maybe this is an option for you. The Mason BOKEH combines an aluminium frame and carbon fork with all the key ingredients of an adventure bike, including wide tyres, disc brakes, through axles, relaxed geometry, and mounts for mudguards and racks. Oh, and it's available with 650B or 700C wheels. The new BOKEH builds on the solid foundations laid down by the Resolution and Definition disc road bikes, but with an eye on bigger adventures over more challenging terrain. The frame is made from triple butted aluminium in Italy with smooth welds, a lovely coat of paint and pin-sharp graphics. It's an easy bike to fall in love with. As such, it's right at home on the road, with neutral handling that lends the bike an easy grace when carving through those country lanes. The low stack height means it never felt compromised as a road bike, a fact backed up by the fitting of slick tyres. It's perfect on long road rides because it climbs and descends so very well. But it's the BOKEH's off-road capability that is the real highlight here. and how easily it transfers from one surface to the other. Head off into the wilderness and show the BOKEH some muddy bridleways or gravel roads, and it feels even more at home than it does on the road. Its stability from the long wheelbase and slack head angle is a massive boost when tackling rough tracks, and it inspires confidence even on those loose terrains. Mason has designed the BOKEH to be compatible with regular 700C wheels with clearance for up to 41mm tyres and 650B wheels for up to a 50mm tyre. We've tested the BOKEH with both, and while the 650B tyres feel a bit slower and harder on the road, they're much better on off-road, with more traction and cushioning detectable, and being able to run lower pressures is a real bonus. This bike might be one of the most expensive bikes on this list, but it's highly capable and extremely well-finished product. The GLENCOE is an all-new Road Plus bike from British brand WHYTE, born out of a desire to provide a bike that's capable of smoothing the increasingly rough roads that we have to contend with in this country. It combines an aluminium frame and fork rolling on wide profile WTB tubeless ready rims and WTB Horizon 47mm tyres. Starting and stopping are taken care of by SRAM Apex 1x11 group set. The picture bike has had optional mudguards that fit really nicely onto the bike, and definitely an essential purchase for year-round riding in all weathers. As well as accommodating mudguards, it will take racks and panniers and plenty of water bottles too. So far so relatively normal, but it's the geometry that really sets it apart from the conventional road bike. Basically, the GLENCOE has a long front centre, a short stem and a wide bar, a slack head angle and a short offset fork, which all combine to produce incredibly stable and planted handling. Point this thing down a hill and it's reassuringly composed. The steering is relaxed and the tyres compliant over rough surfaces. It boosts confidence in a way few road bikes do. It's as suitable for an experienced cyclist as it is a beginner put off by the often twitchy handling of regular road bikes. Where even 28mm tyres transmit a lot of the road surface to the contact points, the 47mm tyres run at about 45 psi simply soak up all the bumps and holes in the road. It doesn't matter that the frame and fork are made from aluminium, the big tyres provide all the suspension you need. At 1300 quid, it's a reasonably well-priced bike with a solid specification, including a wide range of gears and hydraulic disc brakes. If we're being a little picky, it's on the heavy side. This is not intended as a race bike. For commuting, touring and adventure roads, or just hacking around the local lanes, the GLENCOE is a really appealing choice. Iconic mountain bike brand KONA has brought its pedigree to a range of road bikes aimed at tackling much more than just the road, and this 650B ROVE NRB is a really impressive bike. Although the mechanical brakes are a bit underwhelming on a bike of this price. For this cost, we'd expect to see hydraulic brakes. The TRP Spires are by far the best of a bad bunch when it comes to mechanical disc brakes, but they simply can't match the performance of hydraulics. And when you've tried hydraulics, nothing else really compares. But ignoring the brakes, however, and there's a lot to like. It's a bike that's perfectly happy on tarmac, but it's a bike that is capable of more. More rough roads, more gravel, more exploring. Off-road, the large tyres provide ample cushioning for a speedy ride on fire roads and gravel tracks. The Horizon tyres are excellent, generating astounding amounts of grip on the tarmac and off-road as well. They give this bike a buttery smooth ride that can be used on an astoundingly wide range of terrains. They're hugely versatile and capable. But in order to accommodate these tyres, KONA had to redesign the bottom bracket shell on the aluminium frame. This is now a two-piece forged design that provides clearance for both high volume tyres and either a 1 or 2x chain set. This avoids having to drop the chainstay like on the Genesis FUGIO. If you want fun and versatility, well, that's what the ROVE provides. It's less racy than a cyclocross bike, less road focused than an endurance bike. It's the kind of bike that a lot of us here in the office like to ride. No KOMs or PBs, just a desire to ride wherever you want and enjoy being out on the bike. The FUGIO has been resurrected by British brand Genesis into a very modern 650B adventure bike with all the potential for taking you to the farthest points of the world. It's a road plus and gravel bike built around 650B wheels with space for 50mm wide tyres, using a chromoly double-butted tube set with a full carbon fibre fork. They've borrowed a trick from the Open Up here in drooping the drive side chainstay to provide as much tyre clearance as possible. Now, depending on how you prefer to buy a bike, you can get the frame set for 800 quid and throw your own parts on it, or buy a complete bike for £2 grand and get Shimano 105 group set with hydraulic brakes, which is a really solid and dependable choice. We like the option of the Clement 50mm wide tyres for balancing off-road grip with on-road speed. Now, it's time for a confession. We've actually not ridden this bike yet, so we can't comment on how it rides. But one did arrive in the office the other day, so we'll let you know how it rides very soon. So make sure you keep checking the road.cc website for the full review. But we do have high expectations for this bike. So, is 650B something you're interested in? Has this video piqued your interest? We'd love to hear your thoughts on the matter in the comments section below. As always, if you did like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to road.cc if you haven't already for more videos like this every week. And thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.